Jack and Adam own the community called AI Automations. They are making about $85,000 MRR with their Skool community. They have a YouTube channel with over 55,000 subscribers, and they're also a Skool Games winner. Let's start with YouTube. What were some of the biggest lessons that you learned that made the biggest difference?
One of the biggest lies on YouTube is that you need to big YouTube viral. It's completely not true. It's about, think about it like this. You have an entertainment channel that does 1 million subscribers. What value do you add per person? It's just some goofs and some gaffs. Actually, if you can show somebody an automation that completely changes their business, that means that they can actually now automate away 5 different employees, you've completely changed that person's life. So do not worship the view goddess, number one. Second of all, anchor yourself to value. You want to be as valuable as freaking possible to a customer. If you just focus on value, everything else falls behind that.
What are some like 20-80 principles that you found, Jack, that work really well on YouTube?
I spent a lot of time focusing on the packaging and the first 20 seconds. If they don't listen to the first 20 seconds, you're screwed. So I spent 80% of the time on the packaging. Why would somebody click? You need to look at it and create an unanswered question in the viewer's mind. It needs to be interesting enough to click on. I'm thinking about credibility. Got to establish credibility in the intro. Got to create a reason to watch the end of the video. Need to explain proof, promise, plan framework. What can I expect to see? So all I have to say, packaging is 80% of it. The other thing I would encourage you on YouTube is just to focus on making it as valuable as freaking possible.
What are the most important things you learned while running a huge community with 1,700 paying members?
One of the silver bullets that you can have is as soon as someone joins the group, you want to give them a nice warm welcome, get them a quick win, be it a free gift. So look, I'm going to unlock something for you in the classroom. Plus, what is the specific problem that you joined today? Let's solve it today. Within the first 24 hours, I want to help you solve that problem.
About AI, what's the one tool that you find the most useful?
You're not going to automate your entire YouTube from your AI avatar to your voice to everything. You know, that is possible, and that's a niche. I think where we use it a lot for our superpower is on the research, is on the competitor intelligence, is on the scraping the comments and what the competitors are doing to actually streamline the ideation process. So if you're not actually a large language model, just use ChatGPT. If you're not using it as a therapist and business coach, you're completely missing out on ideation.
Awesome. Really good. So basically using it as a second brain and like not just one automation that replaces everything, but start using brainstorming with it, putting data into it and extracting lessons. That's yet the biggest use case, which is, I agree with, by the way, that's how I'm personally using it the most. So I will start by introducing Jack. So Jack and Adam own the community called AI Automations, and they are making about $85,000 MRR with their Skool community. They have a YouTube channel with over 55,000 subscribers, and they're also a Skool Games winner. And yeah, we decided to do a live masterclass, live event for you guys because Jack and Adam are not only one of the most knowledgeable people I've met in the space, but they're also one of the most nicest people. I've met them in person, and how they are showing up, like their values, their ethics, just like they're good people. You can trust my word for that, and you can't fake that. And that's what I really respect about them. And yeah, you can, once they share what's working for them, we will talk about YouTube, Skool communities, all that good stuff, how to grow your business and AI and automations and all of that. Just know that whatever they say, you can definitely trust them because they are very credible. And at the same time, they are really great human beings. Now, with that being said, we're excited to dive in. So what we will do today probably is we will start by me asking like a few questions to Jack, to Adam, and them maybe sharing the stuff that they want to share. And then if we have time at the end, then we will do some sort of a short Q&A with you guys too. And during the call, during the live, if you have any questions about anything, feel free to put the questions in the chat, and we will try to answer as many of this as possible. Now, with all of that being said, first of all, Jake, maybe you can start with a little bit telling in a couple of minutes about yourself too, with your own words, what you do, why your community exists, why are you so passionate about your community and AI, and yeah, then we will go from there.
Okay, thank you for such a beautiful introduction, and I'm really stoked to be at the call. I think it's going to be a really great conversation. So hello, everybody. Cool. So what do? We run AI automations. Our goal is to help business owners or people who want to sell to business owners use AI and automations to kick ass. We are at the forefront of 2 really exciting things. One is the latest AI technologies, and the second thing is the latest no-code automation. Both of these markets are growing exponentially quickly, and it's where the future is being built. And what we do is combine these things together, and we ask the question, what is the stuff that's actually working? And we make that as simple and as easy to understand as humanly possible. One of the reasons we believe that been able to make such a big mark in the space, reach #1 for groups in technology, in discovery, and MRR, is because of value and how much value businesses get from leveraging AI. We've had quite an interesting journey, as Harut said. We met Harut when we both, won the Skool games. We've done that a few times now, and we've learned a lot of cool stuff. And it'll be an honor to share some of that journey with you. Adam, I don't know if you'd add anything onto that you want to share.
No, Harut, thank you for hosting us. Thank you for the beautiful welcome. We've met Harut in person as well. We can say Harut's a stand-up guy, and we love him too, and that's why we want to pay this back as well. I'm a member of the community, Harut's community, as much as you guys are as well. So I rarely do anything with high ticket without passing it by Harut. So all I have to say, if you're part of this group, you are part of the 1%. Maybe to add to it, Jack, I am Jack's #2. So I help him run the group. I'm the community manager. I help him with strategy. I help him run the business. So I think between us, from having Jack as the creator and me as the guy, the #2 behind the scenes who helps manage it and do the operations, I think we should give you some good insight. So if you've got any questions, put it into the chat and we'll do our best to answer them the best we can.
Beautiful. That was awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Jack, and Adam. Thank you for the kind words as well. Appreciate you a lot. And you have been a great member of the community, by the way. I can say that. So let's start maybe with this. So there's a few things that we can go over this call. I think probably what would be the most relevant for people in our community would be content, right? So specifically YouTube. Maybe we can go over some of the lessons you have learned about YouTube when growing, because what I like about your YouTube channel is you don't only just get views, but you are making money with it, right? That's what matters. Like you are not attracting just viewers, you are attracting buyers, right? So I want to go over that on how are you doing it? When did you start your YouTube channel? Why did you decide to start posting more videos every week instead of, I know back then you were doing one a week. How did that play out? Your biggest lessons? And then maybe we can transition into monetization, Skool. Maybe then Adam can jump in as well and share his best practices for the group and doing all that. And then, yeah, at the end, we can maybe touch a little bit on AI, on what AI tools do you guys use and what is the most useful, and maybe some general business lessons or things that you have learned that really helped you. We can go over those as well. So that's probably would be the structure. And again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to just put them in the chat and we will try to answer them. We won't probably be able to answer every single question if there will be too many, but we will try to do as many as possible. So let's start with YouTube maybe. Jack, when did you start your YouTube channel? How big is it now? And what were some of the biggest lessons that you learned that made the biggest difference?
Beautiful. Okay, excellent. And just if we don't get through to the questions, I'll do a loom and share that to make sure you can get that answer. So one thing I would say, before we even did AI, I had a startup previous to this, a tech startup that I scaled to 50K a month. I actually sold that to one of the largest companies in the UK. And I just want to give that context because it's what I've noticed is it's the same power laws across almost every platform that I'm on. Okay. So YouTube. If I had to condense the most important things that if I went back 2 years, I would tell myself would be the following. Basically, if you look at my YouTube graph, it is a barren wasteland of pretty much nobody watching it. And I call it valleys of death. Basically the valley of death of never getting started. I did so much content, it didn't hit it. What happened before my Skool group is I had what I'd call customer resonance. I posted a video. Somebody said, "Hey, Jack, I found that video so helpful. I'm actually going to give you $10. And it wasn't the $10. This was 1 year ago, by the way. I'm going to give you $10. And it wasn't about the $10. It was the fact that they got so much value from it that they felt compelled to give me money. That's how I knew. And generally, whenever I start a business, I look for customer resonance. You're looking for a signal that you're making an impact. When I started off my YouTube journey, I was about going viral. Everything was about how can I get on the front page of YouTube. What I realized is do you want to make money or do you want to be famous, right? Many million subscriber YouTube channels could disappear tomorrow and you wouldn't even realize it. It is far more profitable, rewarding to make a deep impact for a small number of people than a shallow impact for a significantly large number of people. You will get paid based on the degree of value you create. One of the biggest lies on YouTube is you need to be big YouTube viral. It's completely not true. It's about, think about it like this. You have an entertainment channel that does 1 million subscribers. What value do you add per person? It's just some goofs and some gaffs, but they forget about you on to the next video. Actually, if you can show somebody an automation that completely changes their business, that means that they can actually now automate away 5 different employees, you've completely changed that person's life. And as a result of that, they want to come and engage with the products and services that Adam and I look at. So number one is Do not look at views. Views are not a good indicator of money. Most people making most money don't have the biggest views. So do not worship the view god as number one. Second of all, anchor yourself to value. You want to be as valuable as freaking possible to a customer. If you just focus on value, everything else falls behind that. What you'll often find in YouTube is you have an accordion of volume and value. So, for example, when I started to take off, is I said, look, I don't care if I have one person or 101,000 people watching my videos. I'm just going to get content out to find out what my niche is and what resonates. And only when I started doing values and didn't give a crap about the views, I started to find my customer resonance and I could build that and share what I was really passionate about. So you are going to fail. You have to get over it. Your first 20 videos are going to suck balls. Excuse my language, but they are. No one's going to watch it. It's not about that. You just got to get started, get growing. And our funnel is more like a pancake. All we do is we rock their world, we give them value, and we say, hey, you want to learn more, you want to do this, but faster, better, quicker, and get more access? Just push this button down below. And then they come over and then they join. And now we have a churn rate in the 6%. So it's been a big journey. Adam sort of co-founded the group with me. We've done a lot of work on it, and YouTube is fun, and we're having a rock and roll good time.
Nice. Love that, man. And by the way, the first point, here's Jack's channel, by the way, guys. You can go and subscribe, and here's their community. You can go and check that out as well. At the end, I think we will share the link. But and by the way, this is not like a promotion. That's not why we are doing this. I don't even have an affiliate link. We haven't even discussed this. But basically what you mentioned was very powerful, was the attracting buyers, not viewers. And I absolutely can confirm that by looking at so much data from clients that we have. Like, sometimes they have videos, and that, by the way, doesn't matter as much what platform it is. Like, it works everywhere, as you said. Sometimes a person can make a video or like a piece of content that gets 200 views, and they get like a high ticket paying client, or they get few Skool community members from that. And another video can get like 10,000 views, not like 1 or 200, and don't even bring you any clients. So I've seen that like in so many different industries, and that's something powerful that you said, which is, don't care about just going viral, right? Like, oh, that's a viral video, I'm just gonna do that. Make sure that you are attracting the right person, right? You know who your buyer is, who is your ideal avatar. Funnily enough, the last live we did was about that. So if you guys are watching this, you can go back and watch the recording in the classroom. And after you know that, then you make videos specifically for that kind of people, right? So an example of this can be even for me. Like, there are so many videos that are working out there right now. How to make your first $1 as a beginner, or how to make your first $1,000 as a beginner, step by step, right? These videos are working very well. And like, I used to want to make these videos, but now I'm thinking like, but is that my ideal avatar? And usually it's not, right? Usually that's not the person I want to attract. So although I see all these viral videos, I'm not copying them in my niche, because I'm saying, even if I make this video and it gets only 300 views, sometimes 6, 7, sometimes 8 figure entrepreneurs watch these videos. And I know that by fact, because these people message me on Instagram and say, hey, I have seen your YouTube video. I'm saying, what? Did you watch my videos? And they say, yes. And it's like a very big entrepreneur. So, but you don't see that on the view count. On the view count, when you see it says 300 views or 500 views, your ego hurts a little bit, right? You think, oh my God, I need to see 5,000. So again, our message definitely isn't not get views, stay small, make bad videos. Absolutely not. For as long as it's the right kind of views, try to get as many as possible, but making sure that you add value, as you said, right? You make simple videos that are actually resonating. As you said, the market resonance, it resonates with the people you want to attract, to help them. Then the next logical step for them is to take the next step, like to join your community, to buy your thing, your mentorship, your whatever solution you have for their problem. So that's really powerful. One thing I want to focus on is, I know that on your YouTube channel, you went from posting less to posting more, right? And I know somewhere, yes. I don't know when did you start doing that, but can you walk us through why did you make that decision, and what lessons did you learn from that? Like, what's your take on quality versus quantity, and how kind of you balance both? Because some people say, Harut, should I post 1 a week, 3 a week, videos every day? I know the answer is it depends usually on the niche and on the situation, but what you found from your own experience, did making more videos help you, and why?
Yeah, so I love that. Thank you, bro. So basically, core concept to understand, a 1% improvement in your YouTube can lead to a 10, 20, 50% improvement in your income. So it's a very high leverage platform. I post high volume until, what you want to do is, if you did 4 videos a week for a month, you're going to end up with something like 16 to 20 videos, okay? When you take a look back at those 20 videos, you can say, hey, great, we had 2 that were 10 out of 10, some 7 out of 10, some 5s, some 4s, some 2s. You can then see what worked and do more of the things that work. So I like higher volume until you find the stuff that really crushes it. And then you double click on and zoom in on the stuff that works and do more of that kind of content. You can say, well, of the ones that did really well, why did it do well? What was it about the thumbnail and the title? You want to do a process of deconstruction. So you want to grab the first 30 seconds of all your videos, break it down line by line, look at your top performers, look at your worst performers, have AI to analyze and compare. Also do this with your competitors and niche as well. Specifically, what are they all doing at the beginning of their videos that I'm not doing? What are their thumbnails and titles doing that I'm not doing? And you'll start to create a framework of stuff that actually works. And it's not that you're trying to copy what they're doing, but with YouTube, there's a science component of it. Again, I'm just as much a learner as every single person in this call. I can only speak about the stuff that I'm learning about, but there's as much of a scientific aspect to it as there is an artistic aspect to it. The art is you, your style, where you show up, and you will find your own niche. But there are certain rules of the game that you will find out. And the biggest thing that always blows my mind actually is the bigger the guys are, the more romantic and close they are to data. They're so freaking scientific on it, guys. They're looking at percentage of number of views that are returning. They're looking at this data, that number. They're so specific on it. It really blows my mind. So I like to do slightly more videos because for me, I feel there's no shortage of content that I could create. And I find the stuff that works and double click into it.
Yeah, that's very helpful, man. I love that. And what you said was really powerful because a lot of people, like the reason that I am a big fan of doing more quantity in the beginning than quality is because most people don't know what quality looks like, right? And
That's
I've
right.
heard this from Alex Hormozi's brand director. He said, you don't decide quality, your viewers decide quality, right? And for your view, and what that means is that if a video did better, let's say it got more views or it attracted more buyers or more people, in your case, donated you money in the comments and said, this is helpful, like whatever signs they are showing that they resonate with the video, that's what quality is, right? So the quality is determined by the results that you get from your content, how much it resonates, how well it does, how much money it makes you, right? So if that's true, then the more videos you make in the beginning, no matter on which platform you are, the more chances you have to test and experiment, to fail, to learn, right? And to have enough data to then kind of study this data in the first place, right? So I absolutely love what you said, which is, the lesson I'm getting from this is post more, see what works, what doesn't, study the competitors, see what's working for others, get better. More reps are going to help you to iterate more and get better. And then once you see that something is working better, then that's when you can spend even more time on making more videos like the ones that did well on your channel, on your account, whatever. So that was really powerful. I see some questions in the chat, so we're going to answer them as well, guys. If there's anything specific about YouTube, if you put it in the chat, we will cover that. But if it's not related to this, we're going to cover it at the end if we have time. And also one quick thing, if you guys can take notes, I see some of you are doing it, take notes with your biggest lessons, what you are taking out of this. At the end of the live, I will ask you your biggest takeaways and you will type that in the chat. So just pay attention, write down something that resonates, something that clicks, like these aha moments, right, that you have. And even if you implement one or two things and take action on, I think it's already going to be very useful for you. So now we will answer some questions about YouTube. If you guys have them, put them in the chat. Final couple questions about YouTube, then we will move on to Skool and then AI and other things. Is what are some like 20/80 principles that you found, Jack, that work really well on YouTube? Some people say like, the packaging is everything, right? Like titles and thumbnails, or the script is everything, the hook is everything, that proof promise plan framework. Like the ideation part is everything. I'm a big fan of that. Like if your idea isn't good, how you're gonna package a bad idea with good title and thumbnail, like the idea isn't good. So like there's all this, the audience retention matters, but when they're like, oh, so there's so much advice out there, so much probably people you paid to learn YouTube or resources you watched, you probably spent a lot of time on this. What have you found that are like that 20% of activities that yield you 80% of the results? When you make a video, you say, okay, for as long as these three things, I do them well, I don't care about anything else. Maybe it's the idea, it's your hook, and it's actionable insights within the video so people can take action and get value. What would be these key things that you really found make a difference?
That is an excellent question. So I'll tell you, if I only had 3 sentences to tell myself the stuff to focus on, if I was a complete beginner,
Yeah.
I used to focus 80% on the video and I'd write the title and thumbnail afterwards. 80% of everything that happens on YouTube is the packaging, the title, the thumbnail, and the intro. That's pretty much 80% of it. If you
Right.
just do the 80%, if or, like I used to think, okay, what's my video idea? And I just run with it. Like you can have any video and you can package it in a million different ways. For example, I did a video recently that did quite well. It's over 5,000 views. In fact, it's basically I made a million. I built
I
$1 million
was watching this
business.
10 minutes ago. I was
Oh,
watching
that's
this.
cool. Yeah. So and learned this.
Yeah.
Like I sat down and thought about title for that, the packaging of it. So 80% it goes top right there, right? The other three I've just done a cool experiment. I explained why I think certain ones have popped and haven't. But this one here, guys, I focused a lot on the intro, and you'll hear why. Maybe you could play that just for a second.
Yes,
Harut, if we can see it.
let me do it in a way where they can hear it as well, the sound.
Okay. In just 12 months, I've scaled a 7-figure AI automation business, and maybe you're stuck or you're trying to do the same with your business. In the last 12 months, I have made so many mistakes, and if I could go back, this is exactly the stuff that I wish I knew to help me grow faster and get the results with less headache and wasted time. And so to help make building your business 10 times easier, here are 41 brutally honest truths I wish I knew earlier, and whether you're doing an AI automation business or you're scaling your own business, I think these will be of immense value to you. I used to get very romantic about the technology. And that's straight into lesson one. I have just posted the whole framework I use that I learned as well. Hold on a sec.
Nice.
So you can just still listen to what you think. But basically, guys, this is all I did. What I did is I spent a lot of time focusing on the packaging and the first 20 seconds. If they don't listen to the first 20 seconds, you're screwed. So I spent 80% of the time on the packaging. Why would somebody click? You need to look at it and create an unanswered question in the viewer's mind. It needs to be interesting enough to click on. So I will now spend an hour thinking of the packaging, probably even more if I want it to do really well. Like the more time you spend on the packaging, thinking about your avatar, how you want to position the video, and then your intro. And there's various things you want to click off. I mean, this may not be perfect. This is just what I'm using at the moment. Is I'm thinking about, okay, credibility. Got to establish credibility in the intro. Got to create a reason to watch the end of the video. Need to explain proof, promise, plan framework. What can I expect to see? So all I have to say, packaging is 80% of it. The other thing I would encourage you on YouTube is just to focus on making it as valuable as freaking possible. Someone once told me if you if you treat your audience like monkeys, your channel becomes a zoo. Um, Adam and I have met many people from our community. We are blown away by how intelligent they are, how freaking smart, generous they are. And it's not that we didn't think they were smart, but it blew my mind because when you start, you will attract a certain kind of person based on the content you put out there. If you're like, you won't believe this crazy new cup, it's going to change the world, that attracts a certain type of viewer. You want to sort of like, my philosophy is imagine you've got your ideal customer watching it, have them in your brain at every point in the process. Would they click on this video? Well, they probably wouldn't. Like, you almost want to go slower to go faster, guys. Like, think about how you're positioning it, how you're packaging it, then have that individual in all the way. And ultimately, you don't even need to sell that hard. If you just add value, oftentimes they just want to give and to support to you. So this is something I've learned the hard way. Focus on the positioning, the intro, and just be as viable as humanly possible. And and this is a cheat code here, but I just want to say, like, every time I've had a business and it's I've blown up, I can attribute it to one behavior, just one behavior. And that is simply, I will improve one thing every time I do it. When I did my first tech startup, I got that to 50,000 unique visitors a month. I went out to sell that and did lots of really cool stuff with it. I basically, look, every time I go and post an article, I'm going to learn one new thing about SEO. I followed that. And would you believe it, guys? In 6 months' time, I knew way more than I did 6 months ago. Same thing with this business. Every time I do it, we're going to add one new thing. Those things aren't additive. They compound over time. If you just have the behavior to do that, and when you start YouTube, Harut's a freaking pro at YouTube. I take a lot of counsel from him. But when I think about YouTube, guys, your success metric is not views and it's not subscribers and it's not sales. I would say your success metric is your learning velocity because your learning skills will outpace significantly your income for a very long period of time. And your income is the lagging factor. Your skills and execution are the leading factors. If you just nail those things down, everything else catches up over time.
Love that, man. Such a good lessons. I fully agree. And on attracting who you are, that's very powerful too. Like I even posted a video about this yesterday. People probably saw it. The title was "You Attract Who You Are." I posted in the community
Oh, that's
because
cool. Yeah.
I've noticed like the more you just are intentional with the content you post, the titles, the thumbnails, the packaging, like what message you are putting out, right? That's exactly the type of people you are gonna attract to your world. So I really love that. So maybe we can dive into some questions about YouTube from the chat that I see. If you guys have more, you can put it there. And if I see some good questions, we're gonna cover them, and then we will go and start talking about Skool. So Jack and Adam can share their lessons there. I saw someone said, how do you know? How do you learn which video brings you most customers? Is there any metric? So I can quickly answer this, and then I will let you guys answer as well. Like, bro, because this was top of mind for me recently, because I've been talking about this exactly with clients, where I said like, what kind of videos bring you the most clients? And they say, I don't know. And they say, how can I know? And I say, ask the people. Like, that's what I do. Like, I know that there are softwares and tools that you can use, and they show you what video got you the most clicks. And I think it's helpful to use if you are getting a lot of volume, right? So like maybe if you have like channel like Jack's and Adams or like others where it's really important for you to know. But if you're not getting that many sales, if you're selling, like if you're in a more of a beginner stage, just ask the people, hey, like, where did you come from? Okay, what did you watch? What is your most favorite video? That's what I do that every single time. So if someone is buying from me on the call, I say, can you share your screen? Can you go to YouTube? Hey, okay, I see that red like line, what videos they watched. I said, okay, cool, thank you. Now I know what the buyers watch, not what gets me the most clicks, not what, but what the people that buy watch, because the YouTube metrics can be misleading, right? Sometimes you can see, oh, this video is 1 out of 10, but then it didn't bring you as many clients. Like this video can be 2 hour long video, get 5,000 views, or like Jack's video that was 40 minutes. I bet that's gonna probably, I guess, bring more clients than like a 5-minute video about something else. So the first easiest way without having to set up automations and AI, like just go and ask people, hey, where did you come from? Like, what did you watch? What kind of videos do you like? Oh, I like the case study videos. I like your long course videos. I like the raw unedited videos. I like the life story videos. I like the tutorial videos. And they will tell you. And this way you can go from there. Have you guys found anything else that you are using? Do I can add up for this or no? For this question on how to know what videos are bringing you the most clients?
One thing we started doing is unique URLs on every video, so we can track number of clicks.
Yep.
That's been really insightful actually. So that's a good like leading thing we started doing.
Yep.
Asking them is good. We also ask them a lot of what is the stuff they want to hear about, and some of the surprising stuff I didn't expect is like some of the just the niche stuff I just thought was interesting but didn't do very well. I thought, oh, that was like a bomb. And then all of a sudden people saying, dude, I love this video you did on connecting so and so to this really complicated thing. I'm like, oh, really? Okay, that was weird. So it's really, you can be betrayed by views. Like, and like one of the like psychological landmines you'll find on YouTube is obsessing over your 1 out of 10s or 10 out of 10s. You feel like someone's punched you in the stomach when you put a video out that you think is going to crush it. And it's like, dude, this is an 8 or a 10 out of 10. And you're like, oh my goodness, did I put so much work into that? You have to recognize they're not necessarily related and they don't turn into buyers. But ultimately, if you have an idea of your avatar and you're focused on value, that will drive your sales. But I think it's a great data question, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. And just a quick question. How many new clients are you guys getting every month, like in average? What would be like how many new people are joining your community? What would
At
be
the
the
moment, I would say like 150 a month.
yeah.
But we were at like 300 a month, 150 a month. It sort of depends on the month and what's happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, somewhere in that range.
I will tell you I'm asking. Thank you for sharing that. Because 150 is still crazy. It's a lot. And the reason I'm saying this is because unless you guys are getting that many clients, I don't think you need to worry much about like knowing exactly where, like if you're getting 5 clients a month or 10 clients a month, like you're probably talking to these people. You are on sales calls with these people. Basically, I know the people on my call. That's why I'm like talking to them directly. For them, a lot of them are selling high ticket or at least mid ticket. Some people are selling low ticket, but very few people are doing in hundreds, right? We have people like making 50K a month, 100K a month, but usually they sell high ticket, which means they kind of, they would rather just ask and pay attention to what the buyers do rather than obsess about the tracking and doing all these things because they are at a stage of the business that it matters a little bit less, if it makes sense. I'm not saying they shouldn't use that, use it. And there's like good tools for this for sure that you can start using, but it only becomes more important once you have more volume, like you guys, right? Like 150, you want to know what kind of videos had the most clicks to the thing. One last tiny detail on this, and then we can move on, is why I like looking at the data of buyers is because even clicks can be misleading. So I don't know if you guys are familiar or like if you ran cold ads before or not, but you can sometimes get 5% more CTR on the ad, but you make less money because less people ended up buying, right? So let's say I want to sell like Apple or like an orange, right? More people can click on my Apple ad, right? So I see, oh my God, it's more clicks. This is where, but then 2 people bought it at the end, or like way less people click on this, but more total units, like you make more LTV, you make more money at the end. So that's why this is so powerful. It's because you can even have a video where you had some sort of a great lead magnet and people clicked on your community, or you had a call to action to your page, but then only 1% of these people bought from your community because they didn't come with the right expectations, or like they kind of had the shiny object to jump and to go and pursue the call to action, but they didn't buy. But you can have another video that actually has less people going to the page and buying. So I'm a big believer of asking the people that bought. You can do it in scalable ways. You can use like onboarding forms, which we do. Maybe you guys do that too. Like people fill out the form, they tell you where they came from, what videos did they watch, and then you can feed this to AI and ask, what are the patterns? How many people came from what traffic source? That's how I'm doing it. And I know exactly not what the viewers, not what clickers, what the people that bought are doing, right? What the best kind of clients are doing. And that's the best data. But for as long as you do that and you have more volume, it's absolutely worth spending your time on going and putting tracking in place, using tools like RevTrack or others to know exactly where sale is coming from. So yeah, but it's definitely very, very inspiring, I think, for a lot of people what you guys accomplished, because having like at peak 300 and now 100 to 150 customers a month, that's amazing. And you are like making how much, 85K MRR with like 1-digit churn numbers. That's really crazy. So I think we can dive deep into that, probably into Skool and how you guys run that. So maybe we can start with Adam this time, and then we will ask a couple of questions to Jack as well. Adam, what have you found for your community? What are maybe some of the biggest lessons you learned, or maybe some of the biggest mistakes that you made when it comes to running your community, growing it, making sure that the churn decreases, making sure that the members engage with each other, that ultimately leads to having a great community, low churn, more upgrades, more revenue, more profit. The question is basically, what are the most important things you learned while running a huge community with 1,700 paying members?
I absolutely love this question, and this is absolutely my wheelhouse. So let's dive in. Jack and I, we went to the mastermind with Alex Hormozi. This is where we met Harut, Sam Ovens, and we were sat there last year in June. I was completely new to Skool. I'd basically been on the platform 2 weeks. Jack had just set up the group a couple of months before, just so happened to win the Skool games. And we were sat down, and one of our first questions we asked Sam and Alex was, what is the Captain America of Skool groups? What is the perfect team? Is it a success manager with an onboarding manager, with a coach, with a creator? Like, what is the ideal setup for a group? When we asked that question to the people who'd won the games and Sam and Alex themselves, we realized that they didn't know either. They were just figuring it out. They were just putting stuff out there. And actually, we realized to get to the answer of what is the Captain America of a Skool group, the perfect Skool group, single digit turns with 100K turnover, we had to figure out ourselves. So actually, if I'm honest, we're just guys who do stuff and we always get the data. We look at works and we try new stuff. We abandon the things that don't work and we stick to the things that do work. So all that to say, we have the same question still, and every day I try and answer what is the Captain America of the Skool group. And then when Alex said to us, "Hey, how did you get it from 25% churn where we started on when we were last year to now 7% churn?" And I said, "Hey, it wasn't one thing that we did. It was a bunch of compounding factors." So there are some silver bullets that I will go through in a second, but for the most part, it's going to be having someone who is looking at the group every single day and saying, how can we make the product better? A lot of the groups that I see that are here today, gone tomorrow, we have been just celebrated our first birthday, and I think we'll celebrate our second, third, and the rest to come. So we want to be here tomorrow. It's a bit of a marathon. We focus a lot on product. So a lot of our conversations, particularly my time, is just on how can we actually reduce that churn? How can we make the product better? How can we reduce the overwhelm? How can we make the classroom easier? Not just more, make it better. So I think us focusing a lot of our conversations on product is helpful. And to have someone like me on the team, Jack focuses on YouTube, so you can tell he's passionate, he's good on camera, he gets people in. Having someone like me who actually is focused on trying to keep them, I think is a nice duo. But Let's dive into the specifics then. So, one of the silver bullets that you can have is as soon as someone joins the group, they want a quick win. They've joined for a reason. They've got free value. So Jack's giving away all that knowledge on YouTube, and we're going to sell the implementation in the groups to actually help them solve problems. So as soon as someone joins a group, you want to give them a nice warm welcome, say thank you for joining. They're a human being. You know, I exist beyond this. So do you, beyond the screen, these four walls. So treat them like a human, get them a quick win. So when we're on the onboarding calls, we try and get them on as soon as possible. We will give them a quick win, be it a free gift. So look, I'm going to unlock something for you in the classroom. Plus, what is the specific problem that you joined today? Let's solve it today. Within the first 24 hours, I want to help you solve that problem. A personal touch. A lot of the time, the onboarding isn't centric on technical stuff. It's just, hey, I really appreciate you. What's your goals? What's your origin story? What's your journey? Give them an opportunity and outlet once we've gotten them wins, and then take them down that rabbit hole. And we can go down into what that rabbit hole looks like. But a lot of it is front loading a lot of that effort, giving them that warm welcome, give them that personal touch. And then we create connections, go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, I think I've been speaking for like a couple of minutes. So that's first and foremost, beautiful on board, nice warm welcome. And a lot of our conversations, Jack and I, we focus on product relentlessly.
That's really powerful, man. You know what I like is, first of all, it's a very honest answer, which is like no one has it all figured out. And like it's gonna depend on so many factors, like what your audience wants, what your niche you are in, what price you're selling, what's the promise you are delivering. Like, and the best way to always do is like take action and iterate and see like what works. And that's funnily enough what Jack shared, even that's his biggest lesson, which is do a lot of something, see what works, do more of that, right? For YouTube, he did videos, so what worked, did more of that. For your community guys, you've noticed though, like when someone gets a quick win, they are most likely to, like this or be happy or refer friends or be active or whatever, and they do what we want them to do. And if when we onboard someone right away and we, help them to have that personalized touch in the beginning, then they feel that they belong there, right? They feel connected, and it's good. So these are basically the foundational things, which are simple, not easy. And from my side, I can tell that whenever I'm talking with people that make 7 figures, like most of them are saying the same thing, which is they don't have a secret. They don't have this like one thing that no one knows about. They are just consistently executing on the few things that really matter, and they stay focused. So that was really, really very helpful.
Yeah, well,
So
we ruthlessly collect that data. So every single month, just on the most part, we will say, hey, what workshops do you want in the diary? And we do a poll, and I see you, and I copy your polls a lot of the time. Like, hey, what is it you want? And we put 5 different tools, 5 different topics, and say which one do you want? All right, you
Nice.
pick that one, that one unanimously. We'll do that at the workshop. So that's our workshop now for the next 2 weeks. We do our meetups. We give 4 different countries. You say which country should we fly to next, and we go to that. So, and then not only does that get them involved in building the product, so you get that data. It also is like, hey, the meetup's probably going to be next month. It gives them a reason to stay, and there's a bit of a roadmap that's being built as they give that data as well. And that's another thing we try and if we don't have it, that's fine. We'll build it, but just give us some time. And then people are very forgiving. They'll think, hey, like Jack, he turned up to his group and there was one module in there, and he's like, hey, where's all the materials? Tell me what you want, and I'll work ruthlessly to build it. So the roadmap is a big thing, and Jack's really emphasized this. Like, why should they stay? What is there to be excited about? And we just say, what do you want? And we give it to them over the roadmap.
Yeah, love that. Small thing you said, by the way, which is, I think, one of the most important things we discussed today. You asked the question, why should they stay? And I think most of us look at situations and think, why did they leave? Right? Why someone left? Why this thing happened? Why we think the opposite. We think that kind of it should happen our way. People should join. But very few of us ask the question, why should someone join? Why should someone stay and not leave? Right? And if you do this, you are more likely to give yourself the critical and objective answers that you most likely don't want to hear, but which will have more chance of leading you to success, because you will do the things that might be uncomfortable, but you will be, instead of focusing on you, on what I want, people don't leave, low churn, so I make money, on no, why they shouldn't leave. So that kind of shifts the focus towards the person, towards your avatar. So that's a pattern I'm hearing from you guys too, that you are close to your members. You are even doing in-person meetups. You are traveling the world, meeting with them, talking with them all the time, and you are staying close, right? You are staying close to your audience and to your members and to your clients, and that's really powerful. So
I'm doing that in 40 minutes. We've got a Dubai meeting in 40 minutes. So Yeah, we've got to be on it. It's a shame. We're going to get a sticker for Adam, so he's going to be there in person because he can't be there physically today.
No,
Sounds
dude,
good.
enjoy. And yeah, we just look at the data. Like we do calls and we did one call and it got like two people on it. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that call again. And we've done another call last week and it got like 50 plus people on. All right.
Yeah.
We'll do more of that.
By the way,
So
crazy difference. You are saying you had one call, two people, one call 50? Like
yeah,
it's a
so
real
we had
example?
and it was a beautiful suggestion by one of the members. He says, "Hey, I want to try this idea." So I said, "Hey, I'll give you the platform. I'll put it in the calendar. Let's see if people want it." And hey, it got a couple of people on. So we didn't do that call again. But then we do another call and it gets 50 people on.
By the
So
way, that's crazy. Like, you know
yeah.
why I'm asking this is because that's a huge difference. And that can kind of show everyone that like n- some people can think, oh, it's easy for them. They have 1,700 members. They have like 50,000 subscribers. They're already making seven figures a year, right? But even for you guys, with your credibility, there are certain, if you don't listen to your audience or to your members enough, right? Or like you make a mistake, which we all make, they don't care. Just two people show up anyway. And this is interesting because we all kind of like, no matter where we are, we always need to pay attention to what people want, because at the end of the day, we are all here to solve problems, to help people. And that was the first lesson I saw from Jack's video that Jack, you shared, which is people don't care about AI. People don't care about your group. People don't care about your group call. People want to get to our outcomes. And no matter what, that's what you need to optimize for. Any insights on that, Jack?
Yeah, I just want to say that's really beautifully said. Like two very quick things. I call this the fallacy of the evergreen, and this is this idea that you crack it, and then it's sunset time, it's margaritas on the beach. Um, you always are pivoting. Like, and if you want proof of this, whether you're small or gigantic, Facebook, for example, turned into Meta, right? Like at every level, you must always be orienting yourself towards a customer. Sometimes it moves just one degree to the left or one degree to the right, and sometimes it moves that way. But the mindset is you have to always be moving to the nucleus of what it is that your customers need, and you can never stop learning. Recently, we heard a group that crushed it last month, and I looked at their post, and they said one of the things we do is I personally message every single person that joins. I spoke to Adam about it. Adam, I'm not doing that. As of today, I am doing that. And now I personally message every single person that joins the group. And so I'm now spending an additional 1 hour every day messaging people because I heard that and I was like, that's freaking amazing. And for me, that reset the standard of what normal is. And I was like, we need to add that in. And so it's like stuff like that, guys, like with the churn is where it's at and stuff. It's like it's always finding what it is that you can do to improve and be better. Actually, even doing that for 3 days, the response I've got back, the connections, that level of depth I'm getting with new members is unbelievable. And it's really valuable. So I just said that to say, like, I don't think you ever churn is an unsolvable beast. All you do is you keep it at bay and you continue to get better. But if you bias towards action, like I'm phenomenal at this, getting close to the data, he is that voice in the DMs, he's that voice in the community, he's driving a lot of energy and momentum around that. It's really, really important. And most people, the good news is, will not bother. That is an asset. That is incredible news for you.
Yeah, so powerful. And I think a big lesson here, like to summarize the Skool part. And by the way, guys, this applies to everything. You don't have to have a Skool group. It can be a high ticket mastermind. It can be a one-on-one client. Still, the principles apply. If you give personalized touch, if you onboard them, you message them. So like these are principles that work everywhere. That's why I really like things like this, strategies like this. And by the way, just to add on this, Jack, absolutely it works. Like from the people that we have, like there is one of the biggest reasons we won the 100, and we had such a big upgrades. Like we had like, just for clarity, we had like more than 50% of the people upgraded either to annual or one-on-one programs. So it's a
Wow.
very high rate, right? And one of the biggest reasons when I asked people why is that happening, most of them told me, Harut, because you messaged me, because you sent me a link, because you welcomed me in, because you commented this. So there was always this personalized thing. So we really noticed that. So that's good that you started doing that. And I definitely think it's going to have a huge impact. But I think a big lesson from what you guys shared is stay close to your members. Because if we give you if like right now, Adam says, you need to have these many group calls and two courses in the classroom, these things change, right? Tomorrow, like new solution is there and you need to update that, right? It's not going to be always the same thing. So, but if you just focus on the principle, which is listen to people, be close to them, message them, treat them like a human being, right? If you do these things, then you will always know what they want. Even if things change, trends change, you will always know because they are the source of what they want, right? Your customers, your avatar. And if you are close to them, you'll always know what to do to improve your churn, to engage your community, etc. And there's a good quote about this, which said, if you have any problems in your business, talk to your customers, right? That was a very good insight. Do you have a churn issue? Talk to your customers. Do you have a conversion issue? Talk to your customers. See what doesn't resonate about your about page, right? Do you have engagement issue? Talk to your customers. They will tell you why they are not engaging, right? Or whatever it is, you can solve that by talking to your customers. So that was incredible lesson as well. So now we can maybe dive into like AI stuff. First, let me see if there's any questions. I try to find questions that are really powerful for you guys because some of them are some things that yeah, this is an interesting one from Sasha. He asked, do you promote directly to the paid group or do you do any promo for a free group first? Oh, they don't have a free group, Sasha. So that's the answer. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else important. We won't be able to cover all of them, unfortunately, guys, but I will do my best.
Could I follow up on that?
Yes, please. Yes.
Thank you. So if you don't do the free group, my question is like, what would be the pros and cons of not having a free group? Because the thing that I'm seeing is I feel like if I just promoted the mastermind group, my premium group, I would just get way more sales. And I feel like it feels like an added effort having the free group. So I'm curious, like but I also see the benefit of having a free group. You've just got a hub, right, of leads. But I don't know. What are your guys' views on that?
Adam, you want to jump in first on that one?
I would love to, Matt. So, really good question. My perspective is that we do have a free group. That's Jack's social media. So we give away a lot of value and a lot of knowledge. He's collected a bunch of leads, 55,000 of them on his YouTube. So I would say we do have a free, and then we have a low ticket, then we have a high ticket. So we've built that value ladder that people can walk down. So we have a low ticket in between our high ticket. I would say if you are just starting out and you don't have an organic audience, I think getting a free group from ads to upsell to high ticket is a good way. But Jack's leads that come through are so warm that he's been able to convert just straight onto a low ticket group. But if you're just starting out, maybe a free group's good. And you need to talk to people probably 7 to 12 times before they get a sale. Jack's done that because he's got over 100 videos. So it depends where you're at in the journey, it depends. But we just thought, let's just focus on our main group. Let's put our attention there instead of getting distracted by managing another group over here.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm at a stage where people join my paid group even with the free group, and I'm just thinking whether to just promote just have the free group, but just have it there in the background and just promote the premium group.
How much is your premium? Yeah, jump in, Jet, jump in.
No, I was just going to say, I think the free group is essentially a mailing list that they join. They can then access the calendar. We are unusual, so we are not standard. We are probably one of the only ones that do not have a free group at all, actually. My philosophy and Adam's philosophy on it was pretty much along the lines of, I don't want to have a free group that's low quality, that doesn't reflect the standard that we put out there. We're very blessed and very humbled that we get the feedback that we're like a high ticket and a low ticket price tag. And one of my hesitations is I didn't want to have a free group that wasn't representative of the quality of what our group is about. The truth is, man, we could be leaving money on the table, or we could be complete geniuses. We don't know because we cannot split test it. So it's a bit of a question that we can't answer. I can just share that for me, I know for a fact when I'm in free groups, I'm there to get sold. And I know I'm there to get sold. I am a number on a sheet, and there'll be DMs saying, "Hey man, what are your goals?" And I'm going to get digitally, touched in many ways. So I don't like that. I like it. You want JR, you want AP. We're here to make you win and kick ass. And that is in a group so we can maintain quality. That's our kind of philosophy. Many people do it a different way, but that's kind of the way we rock and roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. No, thank you so much.
I can add something to this to kind of summarize because I know about Sasha and his business. So I think what you guys said is so powerful. And that's, by the way, what I love about what both of you said. Like, if you pay attention, they are not saying do it or don't do it. And these are usually the people, by the way, that you should listen, right? Most people say, no free group, it sucks, don't do that. some people say you need to have a free group because you are selling something with their free group, or they want you to sign up with their affiliate link. The smartest people I know, they always say like, we do this works for us, for you, like depends on this. So that's, first of all, huge credit that you guys are seeing the whole picture. Now, on this note, I think the free group, the question comes down to what's the constraint? Is the constraint the traffic, or is the constraint the conversion? So if the conversion is the constraint, that's the only purpose that the free community serves. Because think about this. Your free community isn't going to magically tomorrow make 10 videos and go viral, right? If it's good, maybe a person will tell their friend yes, but it's not going to just do magically well. So what purpose it solves is if you are getting a lot of traffic or some good traffic, and you notice that these people aren't buying the paid thing right away, so you want to introduce a free community as a way to nurture. But in case of Adam and Jack, I just combined your names in one word. In their case, they are getting 150 customers a month, 300 customers a month. Arguably, if they start a free group, maybe they won't be even able to handle it. Like they need to change the business model, increase the price. Like, so that's not really a problem. So in their case, they would rather just make sure that they keep doing what's working, make YouTube videos, and attract more serious people to their audience, keep decreasing the churn, make sure that the community stays good, playing the long game. But for someone that is making, let's say, videos and they can't convert as much, of course, it's better to have a free group because it might be too much of an ask to jump from here to here. For you specifically, Sasha, so this is for everyone. For you specifically, I don't think that you should get rid of your free group yet, because like, why? Why would you do that? Why would you delete it? Like, why? What I would do, start promoting the paid one for the next 3 months from your YouTube videos. So have both links, the first one paid, and start promoting. And if you notice that during these 3 months, you are getting people joining right away, because for your guys' clarity, Sasha is also doing YouTube. He has pretty good engaged audience, not a huge one, but people are watching. Like he makes like value-based videos, so it's not like TikToks or something. So it's good. There is a chance that they will buy right away, which means test it. If you see that they are buying it, and then great, do more of that. If you try to sell it for the next 1 to 3 months, you say, oh, like I kind of got 5 customers in 3 months. Back then I was getting 500 members and collecting their emails and messaging them. And I was also getting some high ticket one-on-one clients from that free group. Now I'm not getting it. Then you will go back, right? But you don't know. So I would say for you, test it. Don't get rid of it entirely, test it. But big level, it comes down to if the conversion is the problem or the traffic. You should have a free group only when you can't get a lot of sales directly. So you need some help to nurture people in the conversion mechanism, which, to be fair, is most of the people. Most people don't have as much of a big and engaged audiences to do that, realistically. For you, I would basically test it.
Okay, that was really, really, really helpful. I think that feels so aligned. I'm just going to do that, and I'm quite excited for it. So thank you, all 3 of you, for the advice, the perspective. Thank you.
Yes, and thank you to Jack and Adam, because like that's what I like. A lot of people at their stage, like what I love about them is that they are so down to earth. Like guys, they are making $85,000 MRR, monthly recurring revenue, right? They are like in the top of the Skool games all-time reserve for like the past, I don't know how many months, a year maybe. But like they are still saying, oh yeah, this works for us, for you guys, maybe this, maybe that. That's what I really like having that like perspective. I know people, they just do something, it just works for them. Oh, you need to do this thing. No, but like not everyone is like you, you know? So yeah, that's what I like. But cool. Thank you for the question, Sasha, as well. It was a good question. We have like 6 more minutes. So maybe we can, or do we have more time or no? Jack, Adam, or we need to go?
Unfortunately, I have to shut at 6. I've got a meet up 30 minutes after. But
cool.
If you send over the questions, I'll do them tomorrow and send it over. So yeah, please just capture those.
If you can quickly answer this question, so we quickly touch on AI too. Christian asked, I know this is a game of patience, a marathon, not a sprint. What has your experience been like in building momentum from the moment you started, the point where your YouTube videos actually started bringing clients? So like, when did you start your YouTube channel? When it already started bringing you clients?
Yes. Okay. So, well, when I started YouTube channel was 2 years ago. And actually, clients came the second I started making content on my niche. Literally the same, probably 2 videos afterwards. Yeah. So I'd say it's like it takes 7 years to become an overnight success. Lots of learning, and basically, I'd kind of started to develop a YouTube skill set, YouTube muscle. And then when I found my niche, started to get resonation. People said, "Dude," they said, "I like this kind of content, Jack, where you show these automations more so than the other kind of content." I was like, "Cool, I'll do more of that." It was only 3 videos after I decided to focus in on that topic and create content that I started getting sales. So
pretty quickly. in your case. You
Yeah,
posted that. Yeah.
which is why, like, I'd say build the skills
Mm-hmm.
now. Yeah.
Cool. Good answer. Okay, so we have 5 minutes, so let's share this about AI. What's the one tool that you find the most useful? Like the AI tool for creators, school community owners, coaches, YouTubers, content creators. Is it ChatGPT? Is it like another tool? What are you using the most in day to day when it comes to AI?
Okay, so I'll give my thoughts, and I'd love Adam to share his thoughts on this
Yes.
as well. So, I have to start by saying AI isn't getting better at a rate that most people do not understand. AI is not going to take your job. People using AI will take your job. You can now do
Yeah.
the same amount of stuff with 10% of effort. So that's just to show you. And here's the thing, you don't know the ways AI can impact your life unless you're around and understand the technology. I can tell you that, like, even learning a little bit can have unbelievable compounding benefits for you in every area you could possibly imagine. So if you aren't already, I would encourage you to be using ChatGPT voice for questions. There are some that say it can increase your IQ by over 20 points by doing so. I don't even use Google anymore. I just use AI. I chat to AI about lots of stuff. For me, it is very as simple as the AI I use the most is simply I just check the language model about different problems. Image generation, ChatGPT 4.0 is exceptional for that. And then I have all the litany of super powerful automations that do a billion different things that change hearts and minds. But very simply, guys, 80% of it is just your core model. It's just asking the right questions and using it for different things. Adam, I know you've got some spicy takes on this. Do you want to share what yours is?
Yeah, one of the beautiful things you say is you can automate anything, you just can't automate everything. And you're not going to automate your entire YouTube from your AI avatar to your
Yeah.
voice to everything. That is possible and that's a niche, but that's not what we teach. I think
Yeah.
where we use it a lot for our superpower is on the research, is
Mm.
on the competitor intelligence, is on the scraping the comments and what the competitors are doing to actually streamline the ideation process. Jack still comes on camera. He's a real human. He's not an AI avatar yet. I'm still
Who
flesh and bone
knows?
at the
Maybe you
moment.
guys are AI and we don't know.
You'll never know. Yeah.
Exactly. It's that good. So, odd to
Yeah.
say, we just use it, like Jack said, AI won't replace you. Someone using AI will replace you. So I just
Mm.
use it for every single thing I do, give it a presentation, think of an idea and concept. So if you're not actually a large language model, just use ChatGPT. If you're not using it as a therapist and business coach, you're completely missing out on ideation. And then one of the amazing things that you actually said, Harut, was get something like Fathom or Firefly's Note Taker, join a call, join a sales call. The ones you convert, ask it a few questions. The ones you didn't, ask it a few questions. Why didn't I convert? How did I come across? What's the difference between the buyers? And that's one of the biggest wins you can have. And I actually use that to create posts in the community because I ask it to summarize it, the transcript, and just say, what did we learn for the people who didn't join? So I'd say for the
Yeah.
biggest hack, what Harut said was get a note taker to join a call and summarize what you did well, what you didn't do well. And that can also help drive posts and engagement and value posts in the community.
Awesome. Really good. So basically using it as a second brain and like not just one automation that replaces everything, but start using brainstorming with it, putting data into it and extracting lessons. That's yet the biggest use case, which is I agree with, by the way. That's how I'm personally using it the most. So that's good to hear that that's the most leverage thing. So appreciate you guys. Adam, are you gonna leave as well with Jack, or can we have the
Yeah,
rest
I'll
of
jump
your
off. I'll
day?
jump off. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. So I will stay. I will stay for to answer some questions that were left with the community. But Jack, Adam, really appreciated you a lot, guys. Like what you do. Again, what I respect about you is that first of all, you are growing all the time. Like pretty much every quarter you look, you are growing in terms of the business, the impact you are having, the clients you have. And number two is you are not only growing, but you are staying at the top. You are not like these communities or businesses that grow and then up and then they disappear, but you stay to the top, right? And the third thing is just like the personal character, the personal ethics of just being nice, no matter how successful you are or what you accomplish, you still stay like, a great human beings and how you treat other people, your peers, your community members. I've seen that. And that's really very, very inspirational. And yeah, keep crushing it. And we achievers, our community is going to look forward to seeing you growing even more and being at the top of the school for a very long time. So thank you so much for coming. It was very helpful. And hopefully we will do it again, maybe in the future.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
We've learned so much
Yes.
from you, Harut. We appreciate you and beautiful to meet you all. Thanks a lot.
Yes. Thank you as well. I will stay for everyone else. So, Adam, Jack, appreciate you.
Take
Thanks
care,
so
everyone.
much,
Thanks so
time.
much.
Take
Cheers,
care. You
Harut.
too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And for the community, and now we will answer the last questions that you guys have, because I don't want to I don't want you to I want there to be I don't want there to be any questions I missed. So we will go through them from the questions that I can answer, and then we'll go from there. I know that we haven't answered everything, guys. My apologies, but there has been a lot of questions in the chat, so we did our best. But how was it? What was your biggest takeaway so far? Put it in the chat, and we will wrap it up like maybe in 5-10 minutes as well. But let me know your impressions. How was it? What was your biggest takeaway? And yeah, we'll go from there. From YouTube side of things, the Skool side of things, the AI, whatever was helpful. Carl, AQ, Robbie, Kevin. Kevin is here as well. Good to see you. Aaron, Ben, Paul was here, I think. Lucas was here. Fabian, Christian, good to see you, man. They answered your question, but it was not the answer you probably expected, right? You probably thought
Yeah.
it's gonna take a long time.
Yeah, I thought about it, but the part of niching very good or finding your, I don't know, finding the right subject to talk about or the right niche to talk about, I think this was like very, very clear for me. So
Yeah.
what I've learned is like finding the real problems that people want to solve in order to be very helpful and deliver so much value.
Yeah, that's good, man. And I think for you, because you have all the credibility already, like you have all of that, I think for you, like you are gonna make sense from that, like for sure. It's like if you keep posting consistently, we will talk about it privately as well. But if you like you basically just started posting consistently. So if you keep it up, I think you don't have much to worry about. Like because of all the work you did in the previous years, you have built a lot of like, reputation and understanding of the market. So the hardest thing is gonna be just to be consistent. Be consistent and make sure that you make videos for that exact ideal person that you want to attract. And for as long as you do that, I think it's gonna work very well. So yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, of course. Also, Miriam, Veronica, thank you for being here as well. Rohan, Felix, Prakash, Saja, Vida. And if you guys have any other questions that I can answer, put in the chat. We will wait for like 1 minute, 2 minutes, and then I will answer. I wanted first to go through the history of the chat, but then I noticed maybe there would be some questions that would be about AI or stuff, so I won't answer them. But if there's anything for me, you can send, and I will make sure to answer. Let me read quickly the takeaways, and then wait for your final questions, and then we will go from there. So, okay. Leadership philosophy. Love that concept. Awesome. Also, okay. Okay. Asking people when you're stuck. Exactly. Like every single problem in the business can be solved by talking to your customers. Validation of the magic of human touch. We are doing it achievers. Yep. And that's what's interesting, right, Prakash? Like most people think that there's just like one magic thing, but usually the successful, like usually if something works, like there's a pattern. Like for example, that thing that you heard about the personalized touch, right? That thing, I've heard it from so many places. So it's just like that if you actually have personalized touch, if you care about people, if you message them, if you do these things, right? The boring things that most people don't want to do. Just doing that consistently, like that it's gonna work. Like if it's working for so many people, if it's working for them, for us, for so many, right? Like how much more proof we all need to see to find the kind of these patterns, these things to start implementing. It's just that doing that consistently is the hard part. But whenever you notice a pattern or something that you see works for most people, just copy it, because there is a reason. It like you can't say, oh, it's just working for Harut or this guy, right? That's what at least I'm always looking for. Like what are some things that the people that I want to learn from have in common, right? Because they have some differences. So like I don't know what to do, but like what are the few things that they all have in common? For example, one of them is personalization or other things. And I try to copy as much of these things as possible. Because if you copy the successful actions of the successful people, then you start getting the same outcomes as well over time. So that's a really good insight. Always getting in touch with the avatar like he's a friend, exactly. By the way, for everyone that hasn't seen this, if you go to Classroom of our community, and you go to here, and it says Achieve Greatness Live Replace. If you have access to this, which you probably should, you can rewatch the previous episode if you haven't already, that we did last month about picking your ideal avatar. That's exactly what we covered. So if you can go back and watch it, it's in the Classroom called Achieve Greatness Live Replace. You can find this, watch this, and yeah. The next one is gonna be in May. I will announce about that. Okay, let me check the questions. Think, ask questions in the eyes of the customer process. What do you find valuable? Why should they stay? What do they have to look forward to? Exactly. Very helpful. Understanding the importance of onboarding calls. Awesome. My biggest takeaway was focus on quantity in the beginning. Your viewers will decide what quality is. Exactly. Yeah, that's a very good lesson. I agree, Aaron. My biggest takeaway is knowing what content that gives me clients to do more of that. Exactly. Huge, huge, huge takeaway, guys. Huge. Like, this is crazy huge. Like, ask the people if you already have people that are paying you. If you don't, then don't worry. But if you start getting people that are paying you, you can start getting customers. Ask them at that exact moment, why did they join? Where did they learn about you? How it happened? So you can just repeat the successful actions to attract more people like that. You mentioned focusing on improving one thing at a time with your YouTube content. How do you decide what to focus on improving next? I think Jack mentioned that, but I can answer him from my perspective. So how do you decide what to focus on? So I think you can, like, even what Jack shared, which I agree on, is that the ideas, the titles, the thumbnails are really important, because if you have a bad video with this good ideal title, it still won't do well. But if you make the best video with the bad packaging, it will still not do well. So, but then why does it matter to focus more on the packaging and the ideation stage? Is because it doesn't take as much time as making the video, right? So like, you would rather spend a lot of time on a good idea because it's still gonna take you less time than you spending a lot of time making an effort making a video that didn't have much demand. So because of this, what I would focus on, like on what I would prioritize if I wanted to improve one thing, I would start by the ideas. And then I would move to titles and thumbnails and packaging, and only then the hook, and only after the structure of the video. So that's where I would spend most of my time on, is how can I get better at picking ideas? How can I find videos that my ideal avatar watches, where I can find topics that have more demand than supply, right? What are the competitors doing? What is working best for them? That's what I would try to master first. And then by that kind of sequence, master everything else. I got really interested in how to better use AI to do more and better. So I think, like, you guys might have noticed this as well. When I asked them, they both said that basically the most useful thing is just brainstorming with ChatGPT. And funnily enough, that's how I'm using it too. Like, I don't have any crazy AI automation that just, like, I think that, like, it's really useful when you have very messy operations. Like when you're doing millions of dollars a year, maybe AI becomes more important because your company is a mess. So you need a little bit systemizing things, etc. But I think most people on this call aren't there. If you are, great, let's improve it. But for those of you that don't, I wouldn't care much about, or what AI, I would just use the basics, which is use it as a second brain, right? It can be ChatGPT, it can be Grok, it can be Gemini, it can be like different AIs, right? That whatever you like the most, free version, paid version, doesn't matter. Brainstorm with it, right? You had a problem, you said, oh, I have this problem. What are 10 possible solutions to this? And it will tell you, right? So brainstorming, number one, that's what I like the most, because otherwise, like, we can automate it, we can use it for like certain tasks, but it won't be as quality. Like, I don't think AI is there yet. The only value is that if you have a lot of operational complexity. Second thing that I really love using AI for is data input and extracting lessons. And this is underrated. That's what Adam was referencing as well. I posted about that in the community recently. So maybe that's what he was referencing. I don't know. But I can show you that post I did, guys. Like, if I go to the community, it can be a really good example of this. I go to the community, and then I will just find my post I made, and I will share with you in the chat. I made a post about how to increase your close rate. Yeah, here we go. I'm putting this in the chat for those of you that are watching this in a recording or somewhere else. You can go to our community search bar, and in the search bar, search how to increase your close rate, and you will find this video, this post, right? After you find this is an example of how I'm using this, right? Like, it's basically inputting a lot of data and wanting patterns, insights. In this example, I inputted a lot of sales calls that I did that didn't end up buying, and sales calls I put that end up buying, and I'm asking it for the differences. So I can do more actions like the ones that end up working, right? You can put 10 scripts of your YouTube videos that did better, 10 scripts of the videos that aren't doing well, and ask it for the differences. Are you selling people in the DMs? Send 20 DM conversations to ChatGPT that worked, 20 that didn't, ask the differences, right? Again, I go way in depth in this video, so please go and check it out. But the principle is the same. You are giving a lot of data to AI and asking what are the differences. One thing I'm doing, I will be honest, you guys, most of you have filled out onboarding form, right? So I know where most of you are coming from. So what I do, I go and I copy the section that says where people are coming from, and I just paste it into ChatGPT, and I say where most people are coming from to my community. And it says 80% this, 50% this, 40%. And then I ask, okay, I copy the section where I ask you, what do you need help with? And I ask it, what are the top 3 things my community members need help with? Boom, I get the insights. Now, what I can do with this, I can make courses, I can become a better coach, I can share posts that help people. And also, once I know what my members are struggling with, I can also go and create content about this to attract more people like the members to the community. So I can use it both for client success and for content, right? So basically 2 big things for AI, like, and again, the people, again, guys, these guys were masters in AI. They have an AI community with 1,700 members. And both of them have said, oh yeah, like second brain and like data. Not saying that other things aren't useful, they are, right? But I don't think like the most important thing, if you are not using AI for brainstorming and for data input, I think you should. And here's the painful part. If you don't have enough data to put into ChatGPT to ask these questions, you are not doing enough. That's the painful part. When I'm saying put this and put this, you say, oh, I don't have both, then you need to take more action because you are not failing enough to put this data into ChatGPT to get lessons from. Right? So you need to do more. So if you're listening to this and there's nothing for you to discuss, there's nothing to improve, brainstorm, then the number one thing that you can do after this call is fail more. Literally just fail more. As simple as that. What they shared during this call, both of them, they said, hey, Jack said, the biggest principle I learned. He made $1 million in 2024. He said the biggest principle, one biggest principle he learned was what? Do a lot, take action, see what's working, do more of that. But it starts by doing a lot, not thinking, not overthinking. So I think that's the pattern here, guys. Like it's all about the foundations, right? Taking action, using AI for the patterns, being consistent, listening to your customers, making content that attracts your ideal avatar, thinking about your ideal avatar. This is the principles. These are the things that are simple, yet most people don't do them. But if you do these things, you are more likely to be successful. So if you're listening to this, then either take more action, or if you're already failing a lot, use AI for more insights to analyze your actions to see how can you, what are the 10% of these actions that lead most of the results and how you can do more of them. Ian said, take away personal attention. It worked for me to join, works for you to attempt to join. Do you need proof? Don't think so. Yeah, exactly, Ian. Like for your calculator guys, Ian talked with me in the DMs and then he joined our community and then he upgraded to Enu. Why? Because he talked with me in the DMs. He saw that I'm a real human being. He saw that I care, that I pay attention, that I respond to him, right? So that's an important takeaway. Thank you so much for sharing, Ian. Prakash, I've copied the polls idea in the WhatsApp groups. Cool, love that. Treat your members the best. Love it, Vida. Exactly. Should I be spending time in posting videos in Facebook as well? If it takes you very little time, yes, but I wouldn't focus too much on this. Like if it takes you 5 minutes to repost, or you can like use some tool for that, why not? But I wouldn't. But if you really want to get the best results, then usually focusing on 1 or 2 platforms and going all in on them works best. So like if you really want to take Facebook seriously, maybe it's worth to go and study what's working well for Facebook, what kind of videos. Maybe you should attach some sort of a title on the video on Facebook that should be different than another video. So like if you do this, I wouldn't expect crazy results if you're going to just be reposting. But is it better than not do it? Yes, if it takes very little time. But if you want to take it seriously, then it's going to take this extra time and attention. I heard them mention the ChatGPT voice feature. For me, it's the easiest way to brainstorm. Yeah, I use that too, Aaron. I don't think that the voice feature matters. It can be the text feature too. I'm just more of a visual learning guy. And like, I like talking and listening. Like, I hate reading books. I love listening to audiobooks. You might be hating listening to audiobooks or you love reading books. So if you love reading, use the text, chat with it, right? If you're like me, if you like more talking, for example, if I need to type out an email, I will die. But as you notice, I'm speaking for a very long time. I don't care. I can speak for 5 more hours, right? So therefore, whatever is your strength, I would use that way. So if you are better at, my camera lagged. So if you're better at voice and speaking, you are closer to that, use the voice feature. If not, then text, both works. Thank you, Harut. That was on my list to watch. Awesome. I would definitely watch that. Is there a way to access this info from all the members at once? Yes. So what I do is I have an onboarding form, Christian. So I have a Google Doc where I ask people to fill out, and then I connect it with Google Sheets. It's very simple. It's one click. Like if you open a Google form, I think it works with Typeform, JotForm, any form app ever. It's gonna connect to some database, which is gonna be one click literally. So it's pretty simple to like literally a couple of minutes, you will figure it out. First of all, I create the form, I make people to fill it out, and then everything goes to Sheets. So I can then copy all the answers from a sheet and copy paste to ChatGPT, right? Or you can export it too, and you can ask it. And again, guys, if you don't have this yet, don't worry. Like then to take more action, get more customers, then this will become more relevant. This is a sign that you need to do more, which is great, which means you know what you need to do. Sorry about this silly question. Where do I find the answers to the questions when people join the group? You mean the free? Oh yeah, you mean the Skool group, right? The Skool group. You go to the members section, and then you click on the settings bar on each person, and then you go to questions, and you will find it.
Sorry to have wasted your time. Christian has already answered.
Okay, cool, awesome, cool.
And,
no worries, man.
But is it possible to get all the answers in one place? Or
yes, you can export it. You can go to members. You can click export from Skool and export the whole list, and then it will automatically generate a CSV file.
Okay.
So Skool also has an export thing. Okay. Guys, I can tell you what are the differences. There's one thing to have the membership questions. These are for free groups. I was talking about the paid groups. So if you have a free group, use the free membership questions, export people that way. That's how you can use ChatGPT for insights. If you have a paid group, with the paid group, you usually don't ask free questions. People buy and they are in, right? So you need a form where there's usually more in-depth questions. So that one is something separate. You can create a Google form or whatever. But if it's a free group, then it's even simpler. Go to members and export it. But yeah, thank you, Christian, for answering this part. Same, that's why I use voice too. Aaron, yes, exactly. Like if you are that kind of like visual learner or whatever they call it, you like that more, I would use that. And again, guys, none of it will work if we don't take enough action. They are crazy hardworking guys. They have been grinding for a year. Before that, he said like it takes 7 years to have overnight success, right? So it takes a long time. So it's not like we're gonna figure out one AI tool or do one thing or talk to ChatGPT solve our problems. No, you need to stick to the foundations. And the more you stick to the foundations and the more action you take, the more you can leverage these tools. The more it does. And basically, if you paid attention during this call, that was a big pattern. Even when we talked about tracking where you are getting traffic from, what I said, guys, don't worry about it. If you are getting 5 customers, ask them. They are getting 150. So every single advice becomes more valuable if you are doing more. So if there's one thing you want to do to just increase your chance of success by I don't know how many times, is taking action. That's it. You take more action. It matters more how you use the tools. More advice will be applicable to you, right? You can learn more things. Like there's more things to play with. There's more things you can improve. Let's say someone is taking action, posting, learning, growing. They can, from this call, they can take away 10 things. They can take away how am I going to attract the person? What should I do with my members? How should I onboard them? How should I use AI? What video someone is joining from? They can go and watch my sales video on how to improve your sales with ChatGPT because they are doing calls. They are doing sales. Imagine the person that is doing nothing. None of the things I shared is applicable. And the more you do, the more things are applicable, which means just take more action. This sounds simple, but if you do that and you learn, that's kind of the recipe of success. Anyway, appreciate every one of you. Thank you for joining and for sticking to the end as well. And everyone that is watching the recording too. Carl, appreciate you. Rohan, AQ, Kevin, Aaron, Ben, Lucas, Ian, Fabian, Prakash, Miriam, Veronica, Felix, Christian, Vida, appreciate you. You can unmute yourselves, say bye, and I will see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Thank you so much for joining. We'll see you next time.
See you guys later.
You too. Bye, everyone. See you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.